the guardian of the forest. In a land of ancient trees and whispering winds, there was a magical forest known as Eldoria. The forest was home to many wondrous creatures, from talking animals to mythical beings. At the heart of Eldoria stood the Grand Oak, a massive tree with branches that reached the heavens. This tree was the source of the forest's magic, and it was protected by a guardian named Eliana. Eliana was a nymph, a spirit of the forest, with long flowing hair that shimmered like sunlight through leaves and eyes the color of emeralds. She had lived in Eldoria for centuries, nurturing the trees, tending to the animals, and ensuring the balance of nature. Eliana was beloved by all the forest's inhabitants, who relied on her wisdom and care. One day, Eliana sensed a disturbance in the forest. The trees whispered of a dark force approaching, and the animals were restless. Eliana knew she had to act quickly to protect Eldoria from this new threat. She summoned the leaders of the forest, a wise old owl named Oren, a swift deer named Lyra, and a brave fox named Fenrir. "We must find the source of this darkness and stop it before it reaches the Grand Oak," Eliana said, her voice calm but urgent. "Oren, you will fly above the forest and scout for any signs of trouble. Lyra and Fenrir, you will search the outskirts and warn the other creatures." The three animals nodded and set off on their tasks, while Eliana remained at the Grand Oak, channeling her magic to strengthen its defenses. As she worked, she felt a growing sense of unease. The darkness was unlike anything she had encountered before, and she feared it would take all her strength to protect the forest. Oren soared high above Eldoria, his keen eyes scanning the landscape for any signs of danger. It wasn't long before he spotted a shadowy figure moving through the trees. He swooped down to get a closer look and saw a sorcerer clad in dark robes, wielding a staff that crackled with black energy. Oren knew he had to warn Eliana immediately. Lyra and Fenrir, meanwhile, encountered strange, twisted creatures at the forest's edge. These beings, made of shadow and malice, were creeping closer to the heart of Eldoria. Lyra used her speed to outmaneuver them, while Fenrir used his cunning to lead them astray. Despite their efforts, they knew the creatures were only a distraction from the true threat. Oren returned to Eliana and described what he had seen. "The sorcerer is powerful, Eliana. His magic is dark and dangerous. We must confront him before he reaches the Grand Oak." Eliana nodded, her resolve firm. "We will face him together. Gather the creatures of the forest, we will need everyone's help." As night fell, the forest came alive with the sound of rustling leaves and the call of animals. Eliana stood at the base of the Grand Oak, surrounded by the forest's inhabitants. Oren, Lyra, and Fenrir stood by her side, ready to defend their home. The sorcerer emerged from the shadows, his eyes gleaming with malevolence. "I have come to claim the power of the Grand Oak," he declared, his voice echoing through the trees. "With it, I will control all of Eldoria." Eliana stepped forward, her own magic radiating from her like a golden aura. "You will not harm this forest," she said, her voice strong and unwavering. "Eldoria is under my protection," and we will not let you take its magic." The sorcerer laughed, raising his staff to unleash a wave of dark energy. But before he could strike, Eliana summoned her own magic, creating a barrier of light that deflected the attack. The forest creatures rallied around her, their courage and determination lending her strength. A fierce battle ensued, with spells and enchantments flying through the air. The sorcerer summoned shadow creatures to fight alongside him, but the animals of Eldoria fought back with all their might. Orin darted through the sky, striking with his sharp talons, while Lyra used her speed to outmaneuver their enemies. Fenrir's cunning and bravery inspired the other animals to stand their ground. Eliana focused her magic, drawing power from the grand oak and the forest itself. She knew she had to defeat the sorcerer before he could harm her beloved home. With a final, powerful spell, she unleashed a wave of pure, radiant light that engulfed the sorcerer and his dark minions. The sorcerer screamed in rage and pain as the light consumed him, his dark magic dissolving into nothingness. The shadow creatures vanished, and the forest fell silent once more. Eliana, her energy spent, collapsed to the ground. The forest creatures rushed to her side, their concern evident. "Eliana, are you all right?" Orin asked, his voice filled with worry. Eliana smiled weakly, her strength slowly returning. "I am fine, my friends. Thanks to all of you, Eldoria is safe." The forest erupted in cheers and cries of joy. The grand oak glowed with a renewed light, its magic stronger than ever. Eliana knew that as long as they stood together, the forest would always be protected. From that day on, the story of Eliana's bravery and the unity of Eldoria's creatures became a legend, passed down through generations. The forest thrived, its magic growing stronger with each passing year. And Eliana, the guardian of the forest, continued to watch over Eldoria, her heart full of love and gratitude for the home she had sworn to protect. And so, the tale of Eliana and the forest of Eldoria lived on, a testament to the power of unity, courage, and the enduring spirit of nature. The legend inspired countless others to cherish and protect the world around them, knowing that even in the face of darkness, the light of hope and friendship would always prevail.